Tottenham versus West Ham, and former West Ham striker Dean Ashton joins us to talk about it. Right, Dino?
Dino!
Evening, gents. You okay?
I'm all right, Dean. I'm all right, matey. Look, massive game this for both clubs. Obviously, Spurs off the back of that Brighton result have had to sit on it for 2 weeks. Nothing worse, that, Dean, is it? When you know, international break after a bad defeat.
Horrible, isn't it? Yeah, if you're one of the players left, and sessions tend to be difficult to get through, waiting for that next fixture. And West Ham are the opposite. They had a great win against Ipswich, and we'll be looking forward to playing again. Obviously, some key bits of news for Tottenham, of course, and I've actually been massively impressed with Tottenham. I think they've actually been the best team I've seen this season, and there's only, and I've heard you talk about it, just some real naive moments in games when they're controlling it, or they don't take their chances when they're completely controlling the game. I think if it wasn't for those sort of minor naive mistakes, they would be, they'd be right there with the teams right at the top of the league. Yeah,
Dean, like the one for me is like the way that the modern game's changed now, playing out from the back, moving the ball, this new system, and Tottenham have shown that they can do that. They can cut teams open. It's been great to watch. But football hasn't changed when it comes to defending, and seeing out a win. Like the housery or the playing it into the corner or turning it down the channel for 10 minutes or, getting tight in or play off the centre forward and win second balls. Like, that's where Tottenham haven't got it right. And for me, that hasn't gone out of the game, has it? You still need to do that.
Yeah, you do. And I think there's a real art to it, actually. I've always felt that. I remember playing against John Terry and Carvalho, two of the best I've ever faced in terms of in those moments where they just completely shut things down. John Terry would put people in positions that maybe they weren't asked to do. He'd put them in front of him. They were just terrific at it. And that's still not lost. I mean, there's obviously, looking to keep the ball. And again, I've been really impressed in terms of they're only just behind City, Tottenham, in terms of average possession. But you've got your two fullbacks at centre forward at the same time, and then you'll have Romero for no reason just completely step out of position, and you're effectively asking Van der Ven to defend on his, and that's not going to work every single time, and teams are going to target that, and West Ham will be the same. West Ham's biggest threat is down the side, so they'll be waiting, they'll be looking to pounce on those gaps that open up.
Dino, I don't know whether it was your voice or someone else's. We just heard in that little package there saying there's no difference in West Ham this season as it was under David Moyes. There has been a little bit of that. There are similarities about it. It's not like they've really moved from one style of play onto another. And some of the West Ham fans that we've spoken to, Dean, a bit underwhelmed with what they've seen so far.
And rightly so. Yeah, there hasn't been a big change. If anything, they've looked more vulnerable defensively this season. I think they've managed to actually scrape together a couple of results when they didn't deserve it, and they hadn't been the better team. And a big win against Ipswich kind of just relieved the pressure slightly. I think on the manager. You lose against Ipswich. I think he's in very, very deep, and ultimately the fans wanted David Moyes not to leave because of results, but to leave because of performance and having to sit there and through it game in, game out against any opposition in the Premier League and sit back, and there hasn't been a big change, and that's a slight worry. And Antonio's starting up front, and still players can't seem to take his place. They can't seem to get up to the levels of application that he brings to that centre forward line. And I'm still waiting to be convinced, that's for sure.
Look, Dino, you've played in this game. I've played in this one as well. It's a massive game, one for the fans, but the players as well. You can have a bit of banter about it, say Arsenal's bigger, whatever. But it's West Ham's Cup final, isn't it?
Yeah, with Millwall not really in sight, that the eyes turn to Tottenham, I'm afraid, Jay. And look, I hope it's better than what I played in, because we got thumped 4-0 at White Hart Lane. But I think it's one of those fixtures that West Ham players and they do raise their game. They've got a great record. I think Tottenham have only won 3 of the last 10 in all competitions, which is is saying something for West Ham, and the fact they've got something over on Tottenham. I don't think it's an easy game for Tottenham. I don't think it's one that they'll particularly look forward to, and West Ham will fancy it.
We haven't seen much of Fulkrug yet, have we? For West Ham, is that a bit concerning?
I mean, obviously injuries happen to lots of players, and you know he can't help that. He won't want to be injured. In the little cameos that I saw, if you're going to play a similar way to Moyes, he's just not the centre forward to play that way. He's like I would have been, which is looks lost, isolated. If you don't get on the pitch and get crosses into him, if you do that, then I think he'll be a good signing. But I've not seen that yet, that they're going to be able to offer him that.
Dino, I've got to ask you, because obviously I've seen you on Sky Sports about Thomas Tuchel. Now, it was a big point that you made about him being, German. What? Me and Cundy took a load of calls basically last night, and a lot of people phoned up, took stupid pills about Thomas Tuchel, saying that he's not English and it's not right. Do you stand by what you said on Sky?
Well, I didn't say anything about him being German. Actually, I don't care what their nationality.
But you wanted it to be English.
Of course, I want it to be English. Yeah, I think everybody who is English should want an English coach. I think it's a terrible indictment on the FA that we cannot, produce an English coach that's ready to take over from Gareth Southgate. Personally, obviously, he's a good candidate. Of course, he is. He's got magnificent experience, but I saw him most at Chelsea, as Jason you would have seen, and. For 55 of his 63 games, he played a back three, and they were really hard to beat, and they weren't particularly magnificent to watch by any. But I think he knows how to organise a team. I think he knows how to do well in knockout competitions. But I was ultimately underwhelmed with that appointment that England have made, because I think there was other candidates out there.
Right, Dino, you're at Leeds versus Sheffield United tomorrow, live on Sky Sports 2. That's from 8. How are you seeing this one going?
I mean, look, both teams doing very, very well. Unbelievable defensive record for Sheffield United under Wilder, and Leeds, who completely control most games that they're in. So I think it'll be a hell of a game. Really difficult to call. I think if Leeds take their chances, because they will create many, you'd expect them to, with the home advantage and that atmosphere that Ellen Road brings, to be good enough. But terrific game of football. I've
just been told I said Sky Sports 2. I can't believe that. It's talkSPORT 2. Honestly, my producer just said to me, "You said Sky Sports 2." I said, "No, I didn't." He said, "Jude." Oh, that's unbelievable. And I said, talkSPORT 2, 8 o'clock.
Clips of the week. Love it.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
Dino, when you next in?
I don't know, mate. Have a shout for us, will you?
No, we need to get you in, mate. It's like we need some proper football players on there.
Get you in, Dino.
Yeah, you say that, but I mean, Alex Crook got picked ahead of me when we played that five-a-side.
Saw your ankle, Dino. We saw your ankle.
Mate, when Pardew and Ollie Murs turned around and said, who's playing centre-back? Crook over me, and I was sat on the bench. Loads of snake's belly, mate.
Still hurts.
It was a poor shout. That Dino weren't happy. Yeah. He weren't happy. Dino, top man, mate.
Dino.
Appreciate you coming on.
Cheers.
Matey.
Dean Ashton there, former West Ham striker. That game, 12:30 kickoff. Tottenham v West Ham. It is a talkSPORT exclusive. Going to be presented by Reshmin Chowdhury. Sam Matface and former England captain Stuart Pearce will be taking you through it.
What?
West Ham, they got no chance, mate.
No, I've given my prediction, mate. I think Spurs win the game. Irons! I'd love to see West Ham win that. Come in here, 12:30. It's so good.
Oh, God.
5 o'clock, me sitting here like a Cheshire cat.
Oh, I'd do my head in, honestly. I think I'd go home. I think I'd have to say, lads, I'm ill. I'm not doing a show. We get beat by West Ham and I've got to present a game day phone on Saturday at 5:30. Nah, my head's going to fall off.
Tune in.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.